What's good, y'all, and welcome to my first impressions for X-Men 97, man. We had a 2-episode premiere today, and I just finally got around to finishing both episodes, man. And man, what a fantastic 2-episode premiere it was, man. Like, you guys know me. I love me some X-Men, man, but obviously I did not grow up with the original 90s series. It was obviously before my time. But I have seen a few episodes of it. I actually do have one of the DVD volumes. I think I only have the first one, man. I'm pretty sure that's the only episode I've actually seen. But, I'm familiar with the 90s series and, all that jazz. Which is also kind of the reason why I probably will not do a full series review this year, just because I haven't watched all of the original 90s cartoon, but I know enough bits and pieces of what happens in the cartoons and obviously obviously from the comics that I can more or less know what's happening, man. And I don't even think you really need to have watched the original 90s series fully in order to understand. Yeah, there's obviously bits and pieces that would obviously help, and with where the characters are and everything, man. But I think if you're someone that's only known X-Men is maybe throughout like the movies and maybe a couple comics, if you're like me, I think you'll be able to watch this series no problem with without really being that confused or anything, man, or being lost. I think you can watch the show just by itself if you haven't watched the original 90s series. But yeah, man, like I said, I probably won't do a full series review of this one, but I want to at least do a first impressions of this because, first of all, these 2 episodes are fucking incredible, man. And, obviously it's Marvel. You guys know me. Whenever there's new Marvel series, I usually cover it on the channel in some form or fashion, man. But before we jump right in, man, I have to say this right now. Support the fuck out of this series, man. Watch it, rewatch it, watch it 3 times, man. Send it to your buddies. Sing this show's praises from the high heaven. Because if this show does well, then there's a good chance we can finally get the 90s Spider-Man cartoon to finally return, and we can finally get some closure on that cliffhanger ending, and of course, the big one, Spectacular Spider-Man, which for the love of God, stop bothering Greg about that shit, Jesus Christ, man. Like, literally, I feel so bad for this dude, man. Yesterday, this entire Twitter was just people be like, oh, bring back Spectacular, it's super easy, just, pitch it to Amazon. I'm like, you people are so fucking stupid. And the poor man is just having to repeat himself over and over and over again. It was infuriating to watch, man, or infuriating to read. But if this show does well, man, and they're like, okay, maybe we should do more revivals, man. They do this 90s Spider-Man cartoon and Spectacular, man, that'll be awesome. No lie, guys, if Spectacular does come back and we finally do get that season 3, no lie, guys, I might do weekly episode reviews for that. I'm not even kidding. I might actually do weekly episode reviews for Spectacular Spider-Man that returns. Maybe the 90s series as well. Maybe. I don't know about that one, but Spectacular, I might actually do it, man. I'm not kidding. I might actually start doing episode reviews of it because that show means so much stuff. It's so near and dear to my heart, man. I would love to rewatch it. I would love for it to return, man. I would probably do that, man. But the 90s series as well, I might do weekly episode reviews for that one as well, depending on it. But regardless of such, man, without further ado, let's just jump right. So the show stars, of course, Ray Chase, Cathal J. Doug, Jennifer Hale, George Buzza, Matthew Watterson, and of course my main man, Todd Haberkorn, man. He made an appearance in the first episode, man, which he tweeted about earlier today, which was awesome to see that he was also in the show as well, man. You guys know I love Todd from Deathly Kids, Rosario Vampire, man. FMA Brotherhood as well. He voiced Ling in that show as well, man. So it was good to see that he was in the show as well. And many more. And the plot of X-Men 97 is a brand of mutants use their uncanny gifts to protect the world that hates and fears them. They're challenged like never before, forced to face a dangerous and unexpected new future. First off, obviously the cast is great, man, with a lot of the returning cast members from the original 90s series returning to reprise their roles for the new show, with a couple of recasts for certain characters, including Ray Chase as Cyclops, as I assume the original voice actor from him, given Ray Chase's tweet he made right after this trailer dropped, that I'm assuming he had passed away, or I think actually he did pass away, because I looked up the cast members, I think he did actually pass away before the show came out, so that's why he was brought in to voice Cyclops for the series. And I have to say, man, Ray Chase, after these 2 episodes, man, because you guys know I'm a big fan of his work, man. I loved him, obviously, as Bucciarati in Part 5. He's great, obviously, in Demon Slayer. He was also, of course, that Broly-looking motherfucker in Tokyo Revenger Season 2, the Christmas arc. Still waiting for Core 2 to get dubbed, man. Still waiting for Core 2 to get dubbed. Hopefully it does, man. I'm starting to lose hope, but hey, we've been picking up a lot more shows for dubs recently in this season, upcoming season. So maybe they'll finally get into and they'll finally do Tokyo Revengers. We'll have to wait and see on that. But you know, I'm a fan of his work and the shows he has done. So I was excited to see him be like, hell yeah, man, he got Cyclops, X-Men. That's a big, massive role. And I gotta say, man, after watching him these 2 episodes, man, I dare say he might be the definitive voice of Cyclops, at least to me, man. At least to me. Then again, this is also coming from anyone who hasn't watched every single cartoon or played every video game that Cyclops has appeared in, you know, under the sun, man. So, you know, take my opinion with a grain of salt. But from what I've heard of Cyclops, man, from the various incarnations of him by various voice actors, I think he's probably my favorite version of him, man. I think he has the perfect voice for Cyclops, a very commanding presence. He sounds and feels like a leader, man. He embodies everything that makes Cyclops Cyclops, at least to me, man. The real Cyclops, not when Cyclops is a bitch. You know how he was in the movies, which you guys know I've learned since reading the comics, man. You guys have been reading the X-Men comics since, you know, the Krakowian stuff started, man. And I've had a complete 180 on Cyclops as a character, man. I always thought he was the biggest bitch ever from the movies, but in the comics, man, he's fucking awesome, man. I love Cyclops in the comics. He's an awesome character, man. I don't know why they did him so dirty in the movies, man, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I thought he was fantastic as Cyclops, man. The rest of the cast was great as well, Cathal Doug, Doug. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, man. I'm probably butchering his name. As we're in, he was great as well, and the rest of the cast I thought was great as well. And of course, Topper Habercorn in the first episode, man, was fantastic, man. It was great to hear him, man. It was great to hear him, as well as Jennifer Hale as Jean Grey as well. She was great as well. But obviously, the biggest pro for me for this series, man, is definitely the animation, man. Now, a lot of people at first thought this show was going to be completely CGI, 3D animated, and tried to emulate the look of the original 90s show. When in fact, afterwards, when we got more previews of the show, and then of course once it actually aired, it seems to be, and I think some of the animators or somebody confirmed this, that most of the show is still predominantly done with 2D animation. It's just with some of the fights they switch over to 3D animation for like some of the fights and such, man. But it seems like the show is indeed 2D anime, man, and it looks amazing, man. This show looks absolutely incredible, man. We even get like a remix of the intro, man, slightly with like an updated version of it, man, with updated animation, and it looks so fucking good. That theme will always be iconic, man, and it sounded incredible here, man, but oh my god, the update animation they gave it, man, bro, it makes me kind of wish Invincible kind of look like that. Not to say Invincible looks bad or anything or has bad animation. It's far from it. It's a very good looking show and it's definitely impactful when it needs to be, man. But I don't know if just because I've been spoiled by anime for so long, man, but I always felt like the fights have kind of lacked some impact to them. Some of them, keyword, some of them don't have the impact they should. And I feel like, man, we need to outsource this to animation so we can get some Sakuga in this motherfucker. Because I feel like that's what's all it's missing, man, is getting a little Sakuga in there for some of the fights, man, to really make them super as impactful as they probably should. Like I said, this ain't me dogging on the show, man, or shitting on the animation or saying that the show is poorly animated or nothing. Far from it. I think it's a great looking show, man, but I do kind of wish we did get some Sakuga in there every once in a while, and it had as much style and flair as this show did, man. Like I said, Invincible still looks great. Just so nobody, twist my words or nothing, man. But I do kind of wish Invincible kind of looked like this as well, man. Had this much style to it, man. Like I said, would have been nice if we got some Sakuga and Invincible too, man. This is like the only thing that show's missing. But like I said, I might have been too spoiled by anime studios to be like, where's my Sakuga? Yeah, regardless, man. So yeah. The intro is great as well, of course, man. Like I said, it's a redone version of the original one with updated animation and everything, man. The song itself is great, man. The art animation is superb, man. The 3D animation looks great. The 2D animation looks great, man. The voice acting is spectacular. All across the board. One other thing I really liked about the show, man, was the comedy of the show. Like, there's this one character in the show by the name of Morph. He's like one of the main characters in the movie. I've never heard of this Morph character before. I've never seen him in any of the comics that I personally have read. I don't know if he was in the 90s series. I assume he was. But this dude is like the ultimate troll. Basically, this dude can like shapeshift into other like characters and other mutants. Like, he also turns into Psylocke in the second episode, which is cool to see Psylocke get a quick cameo in there, man. I don't know if she's ever going to become like a part of the series, man, a proper, and we're going to see her in the show properly rather than just through like, Morph changing into her, man. But it was cool that Psylocke got a quick little cameo in the second episode. But But this dude's a massive troll, man. You know, just shaping different characters, man. Like, there's this one point where Wolverine is like, you know, kind of like a little download, and this dude just turns into Jean, pregnant Jean Grey. Be like, oh, I'm with my boring husband. And I'm like, bro, why you gotta do my man like that? He is such a troll, man. And then there's this other, and then the second episode, well, I guess this is a bit of a minor spoiler. Jean's pregnant, and then like during the second episode, she's actually about to give birth, and like Wolverine is there, and she's like, he's coming, and Wolverine pops his clothes, and they're like, who's coming? Apocalypse? And she's like, the baby! It's like driving very, you know, aggressively and like giving zero fucks about the rules of the road, man. Just like yoing in and out. He even starts driving on the sidewalk to get through traffic. My man was losing it, man. That whole sequence, man, had me just crying, man. That shit had me dying, man. That shit was absolutely hilarious, man. Also, I gotta say, Magneto's speech he gives around the end of the second episode, man, phenomenal. I forget who voices Magneto in the show, man, but he did an amazing job as Magneto, man. He was incredible throughout both of these episodes. But yeah, man, like I mentioned, the music was great, the animation is spectacular, voice acting's great. You know, I'm really enjoying what they did. I'm really enjoying the characters and, like, you know, the fights and everything, man. The comic book's also really well done as well. I think in terms of flaws with the show, man, there's only really one that I could think of, at least from these first two episodes. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do a full series review on this show or not. But in the first episode, just like in the first episode of the original series, there's a new mutant character that gets introduced that's meant to be the audience's, you know, insert character for the audience, so to get familiarized and introduced to the world of the X-Men. In the original 9 series, it was obviously Jubilee. And in this show, we have another mutant, a Hispanic mutant, I believe, who actually has some pretty cool looking powers that we see at the end of the first episode, man. I really like what we saw with powers. But if I remember correctly, man, I could be misremembering this one completely, but I'm pretty sure in the original 9 series, we did get to see Jubilee when she was still with her parents, when her powers first materialized, and like her parents were all scared and everything, and she ran away from home. We got to see a little bit of Jubilee's family dynamic before she ran away and, of course, joined up with the X-Men. In here, we don't really get that. We just see him already being kidnapped by some humans, and then the X-Men show up and save him, and then the rest of the episode is just kind of them just kind of trying to get him to join their team and to be like, hey, man, this is your home. The, you know, Charles Xavier's school and everything. So, then with the episode ending with, you know, with him, like, you know, accepting them and everything. But but we don't get anywhere what his family life was like, you know, what her parents were like, man, and all that jazz, man. I would have liked if we got some little extra backstory about what led up to him getting kidnapped and then just starting when he got kidnapped, man. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see what his family what his family was like, him interacting with his parents, so just to give us some more context to this guy's character, man. And then he's like, I don't think he actually appears in the second episode at all. I don't think. I could be wrong on that one, but I don't think he was actually even in the second episode. I don't know if he's going to be like a recurring character or he was just going to be in there for that one episode or not. But yeah, man, I think that's about everything I can think of off the top of my head anyway, right after watching these first two episodes, man. Obviously, I'm excited for the rest of the show, man. I can't wait to see what the rest of the show looks like, man. And I'm excited, man. Like I said, support this show, man, because if this does well, we might finally get the 90s Spider-Man cartoon back and spectacular. Who knows, man? And if we do, man, shit. That's going to be a crazy day, man. That is going to be an insane day if that actually happens, man. But anyway, guys, overall, I'm giving these first two episodes, fuck it, a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on social if you feel like it, links on the description box below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.